start with the pledge. If I could have Gavin lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Requirements of the New Jersey Public Meetings Law have been satisfied by forwarding a news release to the Asbury Park on December 20, 2014, stating that a regular meeting of the Cold Snake Township Committee will be held on May 27, 2015 at 7:30 p.m. Town Hall. The notice requirements have been posted on the township website, and a copy is on file in the office of the township clerk.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Orgo.
Here.
Committeeman Engel.
Here.
Committeeman Fitzgerald.
Here.
Committeeman McNair.
Here.
Mayor Shatzel.
Here. Good evening, everyone. Item number 1 is approval of minutes from May 13, 2015. Any additions, corrections, comments?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Orgo.
Yes.
Committeeman Engel.
Yes.
Committeeman Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Committeeman McNair.
Yes.
Mayor Shatzel.
Yes. Item number 2 is a presentation of some of our talented and intelligent third graders in town and our wonderful work of our Shade Tree Commission. With us today is the chairperson of that, Aline Stavala, and members Jennifer Axelrod and Dr. Boat are here. Did I miss any Shade Tree people? Excellent. I appreciate you being here. So this was a contest that they decided to start, and hopefully it will be an annual event where they asked the third graders, and we had 99 entries of essays about their favorite tree. We asked them to put that into a paragraph, and then another brilliant idea is they had the Senior Citizens Committee look at those 99 and go through that, and they picked 3 of their favorites. They were all wonderful, and much congratulations to all of them, but these 3 stood out a little bit, and we wanted to recognize them. Not only tonight with a little certificate of appreciation and thanks, but also a little gift certificate to the Toy Box. So if you haven't been in that store in Cold Snake, a wonderful establishment, and I think they'll probably be able to pick something out there. So we'll be in great shape there. So if we're going to start off, and we have these on display, some wonderful trees. So some of the trees that were picked out. So we'll start with Gavin McDevitt, if you could come up. My friend, on the baseball field as well as at Town Hall here. All right, doing well? Playing on Saturday? All right, cool. So what tree did you pick?
Palm tree.
Palm tree. What was your favorite? You don't have to read it to us. Just tell us what your favorite thing about a palm tree is.
The leaves that remind me of a white page.
Absolutely. So nice, paradise, easy. I like the palm tree too. As a matter of fact, I had a little one on my deck for a while there, so that worked out really well. So we'd like to present you with this wonderful certificate and say congratulations. Good. Sophie didn't make it, correct? So Ashton, if you could come up. Ashton Ellis had a wonderful essay about a great tree that I haven't seen since I've probably been about your age, but why don't you tell everybody what tree you chose?
I choose the redwood tree because I like how tall it is.
Me too. And you even put a wonderful picture of that on there too. So we want to congratulate that with this certificate and a little gift recognition. So again, these are wonderful events. This is things like this make Cold Snake Cold Snake. So I have the pleasure of being involved in our schools because I have kids in the schools right now. So I love these types of events. I think they do an excellent job. And we're always very receptive when we ask about essays and all those types of things. Dr. Boat.
Just by the way, last week we, as part of Arbor Day, Shade Tree Commission planted a couple of trees out here around the bench for the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts or Cub Scouts and Brownies.
Excellent.
So another way to try to beautify the place.
In Arbor Day, you also gave out some seedlings. How many seedlings?
1,200.
1,200 seedlings. So think of all the damage that we had, of course, with Superstorm Irene and Sandy. So hopefully those 1,200 will do us well, replacing some of the trees that we lost in town. So, and we're also giving the designation of the Tree City. Is that what it
We
is?
are a tree city.
We are a
We
Tree
have
City
been
as
for
well.
10 or 15 years.
Yes, so that's a designation that we're very proud of as well.
Arboretum.
And the Arboretum
Yeah.
has just gotten complete too, yes, absolutely. So a lot of work goes on to make the town look like it does. So we appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Can we take one picture with?
Sure, we'd love to.
Thank you.
Come on back up. Hey, no one picked the tree in New Jersey? Yes. And Mrs. Eastman is here. We definitely understand, yes, the best part for the families that came tonight is the excitement was just what we saw. Everything else is pretty much business, so we take no problem, we're not insulted at all. If you scoot out for additional homework and bedtime, we completely understand that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3 is Mayor's Proclamation honoring the 100th-year anniversary of the New Jersey League of Municipalities. Whereas the New Jersey League of Municipalities, or the League, was founded in May 1915, and the League was established when 51 charter members adopted a League Constitution, and whereas the League has grown and all 565 New Jersey municipalities are members, and whereas from the early days emerged a spirit of cooperation coupled with a dedication to good government, and whereas the League has championed issues ranging from municipal land use law to property tax reform, and municipalities all over the state have relied on the League for support and guidance, and whereas much of that guidance is directly attributed to William Dressel Jr., Executive Director, who is retiring June 30th of 2015 after 41 years of outstanding service. Now, therefore, be resolved that I, James C. Schatzel, Mayor of the Township of Colts Neck, and the Township Committee of the Township of Colts Neck celebrates the 100-year anniversary of the New Jersey League of Municipalities and congratulates Mr. Dressel on an outstanding career of 41 years. Excellent communication that we get from them, sometimes on a daily basis, definitely on a monthly and a great conference that they put on each year for us as well, the elected officials in your state. Yes. Item number 4, Resolution 2015-69, resolution approving the New Jersey Department of Transportation project to resurface State Highway 34. So I'll make a few comments on this. So your Township Committee, your current one and the ones prior to this, have always advocated on your behalf to make sure that our roadways are as best as possible with the limited resources that we have. As you know, we have local roads, we have county roads, we have state roads. And like many of you, I travel Route 34 probably on a daily basis, and I've seen its damage over the years. Some of you have been around for a while know that 34 has always been a challenge because it was originally put down by the Navy for the weapon station, Earl, and it was a cement road. So I remember that as a child, and then they paved over the cement. That doesn't work as well as paving over dirt. So if you've ever wondered why every 20 or 30 feet you feel a little bump, well, that's the next pad of the cement there, even when it's repaved. But it's really in tough shape because of our winters, because of the time since it was last repaved, which I don't even remember, to tell you the truth. So we've advocated strongly for you, and we had a very interesting, and our business administrator, Mr. Antis, was in the meeting with me. Very interesting meeting with the Department of Transportation, where we all sat. I had my stack of comments ready to go out, and the meeting was pretty much like, well, we're going to resurface it next year. Do you have any questions? We said, nope, we're all good, and we got up, and that was it. It was one of the shortest meetings that I've had as your mayor. It was unbelievable. So now, with that said, that was also told to us 2 years ago, okay, or a little more than 2 years ago. Probably not as in a formal way. I think it was probably just a memo that came our way and said that we're going to go ahead and do it. It's on the books. Of course, Superstorm Sandy's changed a lot for a lot of things. And they were very honest with us, and they said we took the money for 34, not only for Colts Neck, but Homedale and Marlboro, and we shifted it down to, I think it was Manahawkin, where somebody had no road. So that obviously made sense as neighbors. While I was disappointed, it makes complete sense. They were in a little more need. Right now, once again, it's on the books, it's funded, but I will really truly announce that when I see a construction truck and milling truck out on Route 34 sometime this time next year. So that's when we're hoping for it. But it's very positive, and one of the things that were really positive is they asked us for a resolution. And that's what this is tonight, is to say, yes, State of New Jersey, we would love you to repay 34 from end to end. Any comments from the committee? Yes.
I just want to publicly thank Senator Jennifer Deck. I think she's very instrumental in this. She's definitely a partner of Colts Neck and deserves some recognition.
Agreed.
And then my understanding this resurfacing project also includes sections of 34 and Homedale Mills as well. Correct?
It does, so it is a little more than, but it's all our boundaries as well, what goes into all the way to Aberdeen. So there's that little section of Marlboro,
That's really bad.
that's really bad, and then it goes to Homedale and then through Colts Neck to Howe.
I think it's going to start just above, what's it, Pleasant Valley Road, the Reedsville Road comes out on there by
Of the traffic light.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's Marlboro,
that's Marlboro.
Marlboro, Babylon, Aberdeen,
Mhm.
all down the area right
Now, in the meantime, we have requested, some of you may remember, they did not a full milling and repaving, but somewhat of an emergency repair in front of Blackbriar, probably a year or maybe a little longer ago. We've asked that same process be done by 34 and Artisan Way to Merchants. It's just, yeah,
That's really rough.
so it's a little obstacle course there. So we're hopeful that may be done because this is still a year away, the resolution that I'm reading today. Any other comments? I would imagine I could get a motion for this.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Longo,
there. Yes.
Committeeman Longo,
Yes.
Committeeman Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Committeeman McNamara.
Yes.
Mayor Shaffer.
Yes, item number 5, resolution 2015-70, resolution to authorize the renewal agreement for the wireless telecommunications consultant between the Township of Colts Neck and FSD Enterprises LLC. So we have a few cell towers. I've been very much of, when I talk about them, I'm saddened by the way they look and all of that, but I can also tell you that I have a cell phone right next to me that I need to work. And maybe even more importantly, the position I'm in now, we need some revenue generation for the town of Colts Neck. So that one, this core site is one of the prettiest parts of our town. Sometimes I get a little depressed when I look at the cell tower that's behind the first aid building and almost visible now. It's kind of hidden by some of the trees. We made it try to look like a tree, even though it doesn't. But I will tell you that cell tower brings in about $100,000 a year in rent. That's a tremendous amount of money. So we have an opportunity with this consultant who we've worked with before to bring us an additional tenant to that cell tower, and this resolution authorizes him to move forward with trying to get into that contract. Comments? Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Longo,
No.
Committeeman Longo.
Yes.
Committeeman Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Committeeman McNamara.
Yes.
Mayor Shaffer.
Yes, item number 6, resolution 2015-71, resolution authorizing the Township of Colts Neck to participate in an intra-county mutual aid and assistance agreements with participating units in the County of Monmouth. So we talked about this, it's a discussion item last time. The county has done just a magnificent job over the past several years, and years before that, but even more so, of tying in these emergencies so we're under a county situation and not just a municipal one. What that means in part is, of course, better resources during emergencies and afterwards better funding to come down from feds to state to county to municipal. So this is an agreement for us to participate in this mutual aid agreement with the County Office of Emergency Management Systems. And our current OEM coordinator, Michael Burke, is also a fire chief, has done just a phenomenal job in getting us where we need to be for the township. in our OEM capacity. Any comments? Motion, please,
So moved. Second.
and roll call.
Deputy Mayor Longo,
Yes.
Mayor Mandel.
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mayor McKinney.
Yes.
Mayor Shaston.
Yes. Motion to adopt consent agenda. There's two items, resolution 2015-72, resolution improving insertion of special items of revenue, Clean Communities Grant, $37,143.33, and resolution 2015-73, resolution authorizing reduction of performance guarantee in zoning board application number 858, which happens to be the Colts Neck Reformed Church application there. Gentlemen, any comments?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Longo,
Yes.
Mayor Mandel.
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mayor McKinney.
Yes.
Mayor Shaston.
Yes. Our ongoing discussion of roads. So hopefully since our last meeting, the committee, repaving roads, I'm sorry, our township responsible roads. So those of you that weren't here at last meeting, we've asked our township engineer, Ben Gerken, and our Department of Public Works Director, Ed Thompson, to give us their recommendations of the roads that are in most need of repair in the township. Now, again, it's hard because you could be thinking of your road or the road that you drove here tonight and think, wow, that really needs to be done. Like anything, it's triage. So we're looking at the worst of the worst and really deciding as a township committee about how much money we can spend in a bond over the next 20 years to go ahead and pave roads. We have about 100 miles of roads, and a road is expected to last about 20 years. So we should be doing about 5 miles of road per year. Some years we've been able to do that, some we haven't. Depends on a number of factors. I make it no secret that I think that we need to keep up with that the best that we can. We do need to take everything into consideration. So the other large bond issues that we need to consider, like vehicles for the public works. The fire department has asked for some additional equipment. We have a potential renovation of the courthouse and police department to consider. And I feel like I'm missing one item. What did I get? The cupola, I think we fund. No, that's outside of that. That should be funded already. Yes. So I can tell you that the roads that came back, and remember, we're working with a $12 million budget each year, and then of course bonding on top of that when we find it necessary. So the roads that we have happen to be 16 roads, some additional cul-de-sacs, some curbings, and some parking lots for our emergency services. In this is one road that I can't imagine we won't be doing this year, and that's Laird Road. And I say that because we've gotten, thank you, we've gotten a grant from the state, but it's a matching grant, so we will be paving some of that. So the first go around, if you will, of the master list of roads and other improvements total a whopping $4 million, almost $4.5 million. So that's just a ton of money. We've asked our professionals to go back and kind of look. Now we have the 16, what they consider the worst roads, and now take out of that the worst of the worst. And they've come down and shortened that list a little bit, but we're still at $2.5 million. And that's without considering the other bond issues that I discussed there. So this is an ongoing discussion, no decision we've made tonight, but I want to see comments since our last meeting from the committee.
So just any idea what the distances of these roads?
No, we can find that out.
It wasn't one of those. When it passed to us,
Yeah.
tells you the width of the lane.
You were talking about Toma?
For miles? Yeah.
I don't know how many were about, that's.
We can figure it out, we'll get that.
I just want to
Well,
find out what's further behind the road.
The only thing, the only road that I, other than Laird, which to me is something that you have to do given the gift that we're getting on that, is, Union Brink is horrific. It's so, and I know it's at the top of the list, it's at the top of the list for a reason. I don't traverse it that often, but when you do traverse the Union Brink, you know that you're on that particular road, it is horrific. And it is a pass-through road also, a lot of,
I think as bad as Newell Brink Road is, it doesn't serve as many people though as Stone Hill.
yeah, maybe.
Stone Hill serves a lot of people. And we have some matching money for Stone Hill, about 40,000, when it was put in downstairs in the planning board to go towards that road. Even though it's 419, so we're looking at, probably 370.
Well, the list I'm looking at is both of them, right? Newell Brink and Stone Hill?
Yeah, they're both
Yeah.
there.
On either list.
That's right, so we don't have to either or on that, that's
You
right.
know what? You think you can bond these for 20 years?
Yes.
So, Mr. Mayor, is this list that we just were handed, is this the
Latest and greatest.
latest?
No, this is my list.
Well, that doesn't.
The $4.5 million's not gonna happen?
Parking lots aren't gonna happen.
That's what they're most loud, my friend.
I'm trying. So, yeah, so this is my compromise list.
Right, that's the compromise. I understand. That's the, I got it. Okay.
So, if you're curious, the roads that we have listed that are the worst of the worst in town right now are Newell Brink, Fireside, Spruce, Seedling, they're all tied together there. Twin Lakes, Laredo, Mulberry, and Stone Hill. We also, parking lot wise, we're talking about the first aid building. It just hasn't been touched in a long time. That really needs to get done. And the town owns that property and that building. And Bucks Mill is interesting, and I go back and forth, and I have ongoing conversations with many people, and mostly my fellow committeemen. Bucks Mill gets used so much, but I'm also, and Deputy Mayor Orgo brought this up first to me, and it's absolutely true. So I am worried about the speed. So people on that gravel road are probably hitting 20 miles per hour, even though it says, I think, 5 miles per hour. So if we pave it, are they going to go 40 miles per hour? And the safety there already is always a concern. It's just that we don't have a lot of parking. It is our most used park.
You have to put in strips of some
Speed
sort.
bumps,
And
yeah.
have
That's,
it race spots, so we probably should consider.
yeah.
Plus the fact that they're taking out there in the snow with the plowing.
Take a step back. This is not the beginning of the big gravel entrance roadway. This is where the most traffic is. This is up to the second field, correct?
No, this would be from Bucks Mill Road through the community center. So right up to the flagpole.
Right.
And then we were, because of money, and most of the activities happening at that community center now, so that increased it. But again, these are crazy numbers. So you can all picture Bucks Mill from the road to the community center, right? To go ahead and do that, it's $297,000.
No, but that's the second field.
Oh, to the well, that is to the second field. They
No, it
changed
can't be.
it.
That was second field was all the way down the way.
Well, then it would be,
They didn't change the.
it wouldn't be a lot less though. But it's just astronomical numbers to go ahead and do paving, that's for sure.
Eric, can we talk about?
Yes, they didn't change it, so it'll be a little less than that. Still, a tremendous amount of money.
Can we talk about? I agree with Deputy Mayor's thoughts that it's just going to cause people to pick up speed. It makes more interest in the park. In my opinion, also, and being probably the youngest tenured committee person in terms of living here in town, it kind of then strikes at the core of the rural nature of
I
that park.
agree, yes, I agree with that as well.
And never mind that will then add however many cubic square feet of water runoff that will then run into that first pond that would theoretically drain a little bit into the other pond. And quite frankly, that park is rented a lot out people outside of Colts Neck. I think I prefer to see that money distributed to the next one or two streets that require attention. I'm hard pressed to pave the entrance to a park when we're falling further and further behind on a maintenance program that requires 6 to 7 miles a year, and we need to do 5.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I would just want your support in coming up with a stronger maintenance of the gravel roadways for all of our parks. So
Especially 5 points.
Right, we need, it is quite entertaining to drive down 5 points.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad.
When Earl milled over there where the roundabout's gonna be,
Mhm.
I got them with Eddie, and they took 10 or 15 loads down there, and that's what they used to spread
Right,
from like the gate entrance here all the way up. Hey, it's better.
It's better.
You know, I mean,
I agree.
If we had a big roller, you know, if we could get them to bring a roller over, make it real nice, you know, especially on a hot day.
Does the county have one time?
Yeah.
Well, could we do a shared service with the county? Maybe get-
Sure, we could call them up and kind of bring a roller. On a good hot day.
We're talking about natural depressions that happen in the land like it did back in the day, you know, before there were cars or at the beginning of cars. I'm not that troubled by the potholes in you know, small potholes in the entrance to parks that slow people down and cause you to pay attention and some of the other things go on with it, with kids playing in that area all the time. I'm more concerned about the roads that have posted speed limits of 40, 45, and 50 having the same size or larger holes.
Great.
And if that's also, I would love this committee to get that, to that being our big problem. You know, how-
I think also, when we talk Twin Lakes, the problem is just down on the lower end of it. They've got the whole street in here at 3,900 feet. And I think from what Glenn said, we could get away with probably doing 1,000 feet or 1,200 feet down there at the bottom. So I don't think these numbers are right. I mean, it's not that I'm saying they're not right, I just don't think that since we last talked, that some of the stuff we could, you know, change our pencils here a little bit, maybe get another street or two in here.
Sure.
It's a shame, I mean, Twin Lakes is not that old a road.
No.
You know, you're looking at 13 years. Where you're looking at Stonehill, there's probably 25 or 30. It just didn't last. Laredo's not that old a street. Maybe 18 years old. Muhlenbrink
If we
is
put
probably
two,
older than me.
if we put 297 back,
Probably. I started out at Stone.
that makes it 139?
When I first got the first part on it.
The longer frame?
Yeah.
If we put 297 back in from Bucks Mill and maybe 2/3 of Twin Lakes, and do 1,200 instead of 3,600 feet, you got the 2/3 of 400.
You got another $5,000.
Which is 240.
$500,000.
Yeah, 240 plus 297, yeah,
We might be able to do another road or two.
540.
So this is my suggestion, is I think we're all, this is a good second look at this. I think unless anybody objects, I think we're all on the same page with Bucks Mill. We're just coming up with a good program for that. And then we need to talk to John and Antonides and look at the other projects and really talk about the bond, the interest, what it's, you know, what years we're gonna hit with our other obligations.
And if I might suggest, if you eliminate what we talked about, which I'm fully agreeing on, you can probably, because some of the roads at the bottom of the list are lower amounts, you might be able to hit,
Three or four.
you know, 3 or 4 roads and save some of the bigger projects when we do this next year. So for example, we've got some big projects, and now like you mentioned, the Twin Lakes and Muhlenbrink, Fireside, those are big numbers. And then you look at Stonehill, so we can hit some of the others.
I mean, Bluebell, if you drive over there and take a look at it, down in that lower section, but it's all because,
Well,
well, it's too wet.
right, but like I said, I mean, that's a big number that you can hit, because you can pick off Laurelwood, you can pick off Colonial Big Beach, right? When you can pick off some of those other ones,
Okay.
just based on, and just clean, I mean, you clean up the list so that you're really only looking at a handful of roads for next year.
That's a great idea.
Can we also, one of the thoughts that I had was, I'd like to revisit the whole curbing thing, because as we fix curbing, one of the things stuck in my head that Glenn said, I don't know whether he said it here or said it at the planning board, but,
What's that?
Those are called?
Belgian wall.
Belgian block are, in the long run, cheaper,
Yes.
because you knock out one when you hit it with something, and you mortar it back in, as opposed, it is.
He did say that. No, but these are patch jobs, so you have like regular curbing Belgian block.
No, I agree with
Like
that.
Michael Preston, you couldn't, I mean, they patched that section over there, and I mean, I remember back when I used to live over there, I mean, it would just start to disintegrate, all of a sudden, one winter, it would disintegrate a whole section, like it was,
I
they've
get all
been fixing
that,
them over
and
years.
that would look ridiculous, I agree with you. But I think if you're doing a whole street, you might want to consider redoing the curb
Absolutely.
the way that it makes sense, and/or is this something the long-range planning committee has considered, so we don't have this, the committee that's sitting here 20 years from now, isn't saying, why don't we just make it,
They're all Belgian block now.
it's all about the block.
Yeah, I don't think, do we have any full streets? I don't think we do, do we?
No, the biggest one is Maple Crest, and good Lord, I can't believe there's much more left.
I can't believe it's 30 grand for 1,200 feet.
Okay, I think, if it's okay, I think I have enough direction, Bob Allen's words, to go ahead and talk to Mr. Thompson and Mr. Glenn Birkin, and go ahead and get this kind of put together again. What we will need is to meet John Antonides, maybe the Finance Committee, Commitment Fitzgerald, we can meet with Mr. Antonides to really talk about the bond, get a good summary to bring back to the full committee about how many years we're going to get, especially if we put heavy equipment in there, roads in there, curbing in there, how that's going to play out in the next 20 years.
He has a chart of useful life that, you know, you give him a project, he'll just look up the chart and give you useful life. You simply take the average of all the useful lives that they'll like your mom.
Right, it's a weighted average based upon the number, and the improvement is already tells you what the life is.
Same.
I mean, we really can't do too much till we get, how are we making that with yesterday on the police station?
They haven't done the report yet.
Have they started?
Yes.
Last week, Eric White and the chief went through the building, so we started on the report.
Yeah, that's a good point. We do need that.
No, I think he's a help.
Okay, thank you, as always. Administrative report, please.
The pet fair went really well. I met with our health officer, about 2,000 people.
Love that.
One pet was far away,
No.
Virginia. The health office, our health department was there to handle the food vendors, and the SPCA was there in the interest of the safety of the pets and their owners. And there were 11 adoptions by residents of ToCN, which is very good. Mr. Antonides has been working with FEMA towards closing out Irene. We recently received notification of $38,582. John has also, just yesterday, submitted another $61,613, and the FEMA reimbursement rate is 75%. So when that comes through, that'll be $46,209, and that would be the closeout of Irene. Still working on staying, one storm at a time here.
Just want to make sure everyone understands, you didn't misspeak, we're still on 2011.
Yes. The roundabout, I have been there literally every day. And to the county, literally every day. I believe it may open on Friday.
And this Friday?
This Friday, in 2 days. They put the top course down today, they're gonna stripe it. The temporary poles aren't in. They can't do the landscaping per the bid specs because they are fall plant items, so they're gonna put some other plants in there just to make it look nice, and then Earl will come back in the fall, you know, and fix it per the specs. Had a few phone calls. What is the county doing? The county is putting bid specs and accepting bidders. The problem is not the county. When the papers came, they were the wrong consistency and the wrong color. And so the county told the contractor, we are not accepting these. So take them back, you order them, you lose a week there. Then the contractor said, we're having trouble from our supplier getting the permanent light bulbs. I called the county, they said weeks, not days. So we discussed temporary poles rather than keeping that thing closed for, say, another month. And the county met with their contractor, and temporary poles went in Tuesday.
Excellent.
It is wired today. Top course went down today. It takes 24 hours to cool. They will stripe it tomorrow, landscape it, and I hate to sound 100% sure, but it looks like Friday.
If you could be kind enough, your next conversation with the county and the contractors is, there's a recommendation by our police lieutenant, Frank Assess, to go ahead and ask them why it won't look pretty for the first week perhaps that it's open, but the large orange barrels, traffic barrels, is to kind of keep them around. We really need people to understand before all the plantings are put there that will make it very obvious that they can't drive straight through. I think we need it's just additional education. And of course, with Lieutenant Lassess's expertise in the field of policing and traffic, I think that's a great recommendation.
I will say, Earl was in a penalty situation, so I think that he'll probably get that.
Yeah, the county has had the liquidated damages discussion already.
Anything else, sir?
That's it, sir.
All right, excellent. Motion to approve the vouchers. Ms. Fitzgerald?
I did review the vouchers, total $220,896.96. The only thing I saw, a curious question, was a payment to Rutgers in the amount of $235 for travel, conference, and training fees without any more particular explanation on the voucher list, but that was actually a seminar for Ruth Leninger in our planning department as part of her continuing ed. It actually it's a total seminar fee, and she went to the seminar in town. Asset Rutgers actually has a satellite campus there. So that was that payment, and obviously the payment for Tom is as our temporary administrator. Other than that, everything else seems to be in order. I would request them.
So moved.
Second. Great. Before we do roll call, just Mike, I guess you and I, as a finance committee, is one of the things that I'd like to have discussions with our legal experts. Is one of the things that just kind of pains me to see some dragged out cases that continue to just cost the taxpayers. And being the non-lawyer up at the table, I will yield to all the law expertise, but I really do feel like we need to put some pressure on some of these just cases that have been around literally for years. So maybe we can have that discussion. And I know our law professionals do their best to keep things moving. It's just a shame. It's hard to see these bills over and over again. With that, roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo?
Yes.
Commander Engel?
Yes.
Commander Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mayor McNeil?
Yes, except to abstain for Security School.
Mayor Shasta?
Yes. Township Committee reports. Jared, can I start with you?
Sure. We had a wonderful, the rec department's on a wonderful show this past weekend. They did their Memorial Day, and Mayor did a phenomenal job honoring our troops, and overall the feedback was tremendous. It was another Norman Rockwell day.
Yeah, it really was.
And it was wonderful to be a part of it again. Also, JP Bartolomeo and I had a conversation, and it looks like we might have, hopefully it's not too premature, but we might have a replacement for Anita Dallas. So I want to thank him for that.
I had an email on that today. That is progressing well, and I should know by June 3rd or 4th.
Good. And I think that's it.
Excellent. Michael?
I have a report. I covered the shade tree the other day on the planting of the trees. We were happy, right, Dr. Bolt, none of the kids got their fingers taken off the planting of the trees.
No liability.
I think that's it.
Great. Russell?
Yeah, me too. I don't really have much of anything. Just like to thank the residents that came out for Memorial Day. Nice turnout this year. A little warm, but a nice event, and it definitely pays to come out and give tribute to those who have served our country. And again, thanks to the mayor for a great speech that day as well.
I appreciate that.
I had nothing the last 2 weeks, and this is going to make up for it next week, but no, everything was great. The parade was, glad to see, and hopefully more people keep coming out.
Yeah.
It's getting lighter and lighter.
It was a wonderful day. Everybody stole my thunder. Pet Fair, Memorial Day. Wonderful. Thank you. So we have our cleanup day coming up, May 30th. I'm going to get the times a little wrong, help me out here, 7:30 to 1:30?
7:30 to 1:30.
7:30 to 1. If you want to avoid some of the traffic, be there closer to 7:30. Or probably 12, to tell you the truth. If I can give you a better shot.
Yeah,
I think
11:30 is a better
seems
time.
like everybody lines up for that. And just so you know, we're excited and pleased to be able to offer that cleanup day, but it is that day. It's not leading up to that day. We've had some confusion of people going to Public Works now to drop things off, and we just don't have the accommodations for that. We bring in dumpsters for that. There's a tremendous amount of regulations that we need to follow, and being scrutinized by the DEP. So we want to make sure that we fulfill all those regulations, so we really cannot accept anything prior to that. We just don't have anywhere to put it. So that's, yes, and we don't want to get fined on top of that. Excellent. With that, I will open it up to comments from the public. Mr. Ryan.
Hi, Alan Ryan, 24 Ann Street, life member at Postnet number 2. Just to add to the Memorial Day, the hot dogs were donated by a gentleman in town, gentleman by the name of Tommy Nikos, stand-up guy. Every time I've gone to him for the donation, never turned me down. He owns the Caboose Bar and Grill up in Penn Station in New York City. Just a great guy. I have to personally thank my wife. She never complains. She goes in there, she cooks. My son, the friends, his friends, and everybody was there, and it was a really nice time. I got to shake a couple of the veterans' hands and thank them, and that's what I really wanted to do, because that's what it's really about. Not the hot dogs and all that, but it's about thanking them because we can all be here and do this, and I'm proud about that.
Absolutely. Alan, how many years have you been coordinating that
I lost count, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's got to be over 10 by now.
Probably.
Yes. And how many hot dogs have you cooked in those 10 years?
No, I don't keep count like that.
16,000, something like that.
I'll ask my mother-in-law.
There you go. Absolutely. And it is heartwarming, and we're very grateful when I see you there every Memorial Day. And all the work leading up to it and afterwards. And we all disperse very, very quickly after that day, and I know you have hours of cleanup afterwards. So
All right.
it really is appreciated.
It's all about the guys that did that for us.
Excellent.
This is nothing. This is capable.
Thank
They
you.
did
Appreciate
what
it.
they did. Thank you.
Other comments? Ms. Mann.
Yes, Elaine in Route 34. On the Route 34 resurfacing, is it the obligation, they were talking about a clover leaf at 537, was that the county that was going to do that? The reconfiguration where they knocked down the association, or was that the obligation of the state of New Jersey?
Both.
Both, okay, and is that going to go
Happened
forward?
about the same time.
Okay.
Not for, they're two separate projects. It's
Right.
just going to happen to be about the same time.
Okay, good.
Good. Mr. Dominion.
Yes, thank you. At the last meeting, you recall, I mentioned that you might think about the county park system and their grants for open space grants, and thinking in terms of what you're looking to do at Bucks Mill, whether it's paving or do well, for the community center, things like that. It might be worth talking to them to see whether or not things you're looking at there would be eligible, because that might be a possible alternate.
Already underway.
Not surprised.
Great minds.
Okay, thank you.
So, thank you, Mr. Sauter.
Yes, hi, thank you, Jimmy. Jeff Sauter, 41 Ann Street, Colts Neck. First thing really quick, Alan Ryan, great job. So I know you and your family really continue to do a lot in that, so kudos to you. I'm sure they'll coordinate all that. Could you give if possible, the public a just quick status update on the township administrator, backfilling that position, maybe a little bit where you're at?
Sure. So we have interview, we're accepting the round of resumes through this Friday. From there, we will choose a subcommittee of Committeeman Mac now, myself will choose out of those who to do a first round interview. From there, we'll make a recommendation to the full township committee to do a second round interview. And from there, I hope to choose a qualified candidate.
Great. Was this like the second round, right? So I guess I understand, like, you guys went out, you got a bunch of resumes, and I guess no one either wanted the job or weren't qualified.
The second posting that we've done.
Okay. On the custodian of records, who's the official custodian of records? I did talk to Miss Kara this morning, and she said she was, but I just wanted to see, is she the official custodian of records now, I guess temporarily, until you have the township administrator in?
I think you just answered your question, Ms. Kara said yes.
Okay, thank you. On the road discussion, Mike Fitzgerald, very good points that you bring up. That was very good. And then last thing, just doing some quick little fact checking. When you were making some comments, when there was another township resident here, Stu, I think his name, was making some questions about fire department and, water and all that other kind of stuff. I guess some discussion came up either during that and or the EMS proclamation that you were giving out, Jim. And you made a comment about how you're involved with the fire department and fire calls that you went on. And I did some fact checking, and I didn't have to go far for that fact checking because I've been a member of that fire company for probably over 23 years. And I don't remember ever seeing you at maybe more than 1 or 2 fire calls. So I know you're kind of indicating to Mike Burke when you're having some discussions with him, and I'm sure he was probably scratching his head too, like I was when you made those comments. So I think you're being disingenuous there in terms
Does
of
that have
your...
anything to do with the government tonight?
Let me finish my comment, please, Mayor.
It doesn't have anything to do with the government.
I think you're being disingenuous with your comments, and I also think you're doing a disservice to the volunteers that actually do put their lives on the line and risk them every day. So those are the people I think you should be thanking and not pointing, bring kudos to yourself. So thank you. I appreciate it, Jimmy.
Never happened, but that's okay. Mr. Ron?
Mr. Shannon, I've been in a fire company with you, and I have seen you in fires, okay? You and I were over on Orchard Lane, 34 Orchard Lane, Labor Day weekends. I thought I was imagining something because my wife came along at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I never saw her up that early with the ladies auxiliary serving sandwiches to us, okay? He also gave mouth-to-mouth, well, over there on 537 at the Zabel fire, to the county. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Okay, just want to, okay?
Serve with you anytime, Alan.
No, I'll serve anybody. Nobody's going to touch the brother.
Mr. Wilcox?
Yeah, Wilcox, 92 Clover Hill Road. I just, really just what I think is a confirmation. The wireless consulting contract that you extended, is that Declan Scanlon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And another question is the, with the FEMA closeout for Irene, how are things going in terms of getting the money back and closing out for Sandy?
Paperwork process, all our professionals are on that, most notably our chief financial officer. So I would imagine sometime this time next year or a little later, you'll hear the report from that. So it's really more of a state issue at this point. Mr. Andrews?
I've talked to other municipalities, everyone is about the same boat in terms of the time frame for reimbursement.
And that, if I may, Mayor Fulton, I think we've done much better on Sandy since we did 90 cents on the dollar versus 75 cents on the dollar on Irene. So that 15% on the 2.5 million that we spent, obviously, a significant amount of money. My math is correct, $375,000 to the plus for us. So I consider that a better effort.
Yes.
I have only one other question. Did we have any in-house candidates that were on the staff that applied for the job of township administrator?
I just need to check on the personnel fact of that. I really don't think I can probably divulge that now, council. So that's just personnel.
I wouldn't be fair to anybody that would apply.
It's not our laws, it's personnel laws. Mr. Wilcox, do you have something?
Well, I just want to point out the roads, and not really about the roads, but about the bonding. Very clearly, the days of low interest rates are numbered. And so, part of the issue is that every town is looking at the wrecks of roads and you're gonna be going, you know, and interest rates gonna go up. So every day that you wait, you're running a risk that you're gonna pay a lot more for the bonding because of the delay.
So that first list that I talked about, even though I'm probably on the same page, it's good.
This falls in the category, I tell my kids, if they save me any more money, I'm gonna be broke.
Don't buy it just because it's on sale.
Yeah, we gotta be able to bond it, or, you know, we're knocking on the wall.
We are definitely looking at the interest rate issue. Dr. Boat.
Gordon Boak, Buchanan Road. Just a technical question on the bonding for the roads. Are the road repairs that are done guaranteed for any particular length of time? Because I know.
Very short amount of time.
I see patchwork done on roads around where I live, and 2 weeks later, you know, the patch is gone and the pothole's back, and, I mean, it's like pouring money down the drain.
That was probably a cold patch, though.
That's it, yeah.
Well, whatever it is, the point is we're wasting time, money, and manpower to just do this over and over again. And I wonder if there's any way that when we're doing a full-fledged repair, like you've been talking about, that we get some more better guarantee that it's gonna last.
We can try, but I think it's a year. I think that's one of those standard, industry standards that take place. For instance, every time I'm on Hires Mill, which wasn't paved that long ago, it's not even a pothole. It's like an avulsion, right? So there's like a decent part that just tore up. And to me, that road wasn't paved that long ago, and we've actually been on the construction company that did that to try to come and repair that. So I agree with you, but we also fight some industry standards on that. But we'll push that as far as we can. Mr. Cameron.
Is it true that the roundabout's gonna have like $25,000 course in the middle?
I don't know the total cost of it. I will tell you that there was discussion to change from what we presented a while ago. So that's an ongoing discussion, and I will tell you that your committee men up here are letting our beliefs known about what we would like to see there. Personally, I think a holly tree would do just fine, but it's not our project. So we're making our comments. I have a note actually that talks to Committeeman Fitzgerald to continue to make some phone calls on our behalf.
I will say the number's actually 40,000.
And it is, yeah.
I
I heard.
want to tell you what I read in the press.
It's a $40,000.
I mean, you mentioned Frank, I know Frank, but he's on traffic, we used to have Sergeant Maxwell. Would that be a
Yes.
eyesore or
Yes.
distortion?
Yes.
You know, that's a bad area.
Yes. All those things. We've gone through, I will tell you, and I'll speak out of turn, because it's, I hate to say it, to use the analogy, this is not the elephant on the horse rule, but the reality is that a number of other community people raised the issue of the cost associated with it, and somebody said, who's going to pay for that? Well, we're all going to pay for it. That will come out of the county money, it's their improvement, but at the end of the day, you're paying some portion of it. I don't advocate, I think that the county has an issue with cold stack as it is. I don't think putting up a horse in the middle of the cold stack, in the middle of that roundabout makes a lot of sense. Secondly, we had very long discussions to talk about which way the horse would face. I will also tell you that I raised the issue of the poor person that comes over the crest of the hill not being familiar with cold stack, who swerves to go around the horse they think is in the road. So for a whole host of reasons, you can see what my position is on it, and we were not asked ahead of time whether that would be of interest to us.
Just one other question. What's going to be the speed limit around the roundabout?
I'm sorry?
What's going to be
I don't know.
the speed limit?
2025.
I don't know that. I don't know.
The county is
It's less than what it is now, of course. So it's a calming, this roundabout is for traffic calming is the term that they use. So it is to slow traffic down. There's no doubt about it, make it safer. This is Wilcox.
Hi, this is Wilcox, 92 Clover Hill Road. Is there a quality control on the percentage of oil or the mixture that is put into the patches? Because it seems to me that some of them just fall apart immediately. It depends on who you are hiring, not just you, but people in the state. Is there a state quality control? Is there any kind of quality control?
Our bid, when we do a formal bid specs, it's our township engineer does those bid specs. So it gets down to the composition, the depth, the temperature, all those types of things. When we do patching jobs, obviously it's not that detailed, but we're getting different types of, and Deputy Mayor, you can jump in on this, different types of material at different times of the year to go ahead and do some patch work. And then it's weather dependent after that.
It's all, it depends on when they do it. If there's water in the hole, it's not gonna stay. If it's cold patch during the winter time, it's just temporary. The problem is whether they mark them, they should mark them with some kind of spray paint so they know to go back there during the spring. You take it out and put regular hot asphalt like they're doing now. It's just,
And that isn't sort of, there isn't any real.
if you don't take all the water out, you might as well not.
There's no standard though, so you know, part of the problem is in the wintertime, the reason they use what's referred as cold patch is because the asphalt plants are closed. The hot patch is not available, other than having your own mixing box, which we do have.
Which is heated.
Which is heated, but it's not really even hot. But the state does have a standard when we pave a road, so what we're talking about tonight is markedly different than the ad hoc patching in the wintertime of just filling the holes until we get to the spring. So they're two different. Yeah, and that's our folks that are out there doing those cold patch work just to fill.
Right, no, I understand, I just wondered if there was like, when they're doing 34, is there a state?
You saw them state ones that they do where they blast it out and they put.
That's not, okay.
That is standardized, and there are standards for that, yeah. Yeah, correct.
Man, perfect example, I spoke to the engineer from TNM, hired by the county, who was, as they were putting the top course down, taking samples of the mix to make sure it meet their bid specs, and then he was measuring how thick it was to also make sure it hit the bid specs. So the short answer to your question is absolutely.
That's good to hear. Because you watch it fall apart and you wonder.
When they did hires new here, they tried something new, where they put this blanket down. They were supposed to stick the old asphalt to the new asphalt, and it's come back in spots.
Yeah, that one.
Two of them, right around.
Yeah. Yes.
I have one more question. To Mike Fitzgerald, could you update us on the steps?
Work steps.
The front steps?
Oh, right here?
Yes, when you made a comment last time that the brick didn't meet the,
Yeah, I'd like to update you, but I don't have one because I didn't
Okay,
follow
all
up.
right.
He is coming back. He is a ToCN resident, lives over there, which to me is a little, But I stood out there myself with Tom and said, look there, look there, look there, look there. He said, we got a little bit behind, this job was a little more than we thought it was, and the domino effect, we're a little bit behind, but I give you my word that we will be back and patch that all up.
I took everybody out there and showed them. After that, I left to the administrator, so thank you.
Seeing no other comments, I will close the public session and resolution 2015-74 executive session. Motion. So moved. Second. Second. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. We are. We may. I want to.